Right, and you can kick us off.
Good morning. This is the Thursday, June 11th, 2026 meeting of the Iowa 911 Council. My name is Rob Dennett, the Vice Chair of the Council, calling the meeting to order for Chair Rotter. Is the Secretary in the room? I think I see her. Will you
Yes.
call the roll, please?
Yes. Chris Collins,
Here.
Jeff Miller,
Here.
Sheriff Brad Schutz,
Here.
Dean McSheehy, Mike Bryant.
Mike Bryant's here.
Thank you. Eric Daw.
Here.
Thank you. Lynn Tazioli.
Here.
Josh Duden.
Here.
Vice Chair Rob Dennett is here. Adam Well.
Here.
I have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda for this June meeting.
Lynn, motion to approve.
Motion by Lynn. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 4, is the approval of the May 14th minutes. Are any changes or updates to those? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Was a motion.
Is there a second?
Lynn will second.
Motion by Collins, I believe. Second by Lynn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Item 5, State of Iowa Administrator Report. Blake?
Thank you. Let me get my slides up. All right. Actually projecting this month, which is a good thing. So dive right into the program manager report. The Q3 invoices that went out the end of April and were technically due the end of May. There are still 8 outstanding counties that need to remit those. They were notified yesterday that those were still outstanding. You can see those that are on the screen. Next item, it's been a little bit since we have held a 911 PSAP leadership training, so that has been scheduled for November 18th. If you're interested or have new PSAP leadership, lead dispatcher, maybe a service board chair, whatever the case may be, they might be interested in attending that training. You can scan the QR code on the screen and that will take you to the registration. The registration is also on the Homeland Security Emergency Management Training calendar. So if you're more familiar with that, perhaps if you're an EMA, you can register that way as well. So that is the normal training that we created a number of years ago. That again is really geared towards that lead dispatcher, the 911 coordinator at the local level, or any leadership that you might have within 911 at the local level. So it's good training and it's been a while since we've had it. One reminder, kind of a housekeeping item. We've had text to 911 transfer capability in the state for a number of years now. So if that sounds new to you, and just get in touch with me and I'll make sure that you know how to do that. It's basically a star and then typing in the FCC ID code. So there's ways to make that a whole lot easier than what I just made it sound. But if you're interested in that, or again, if it sounds a little bit new to you or you forgot that it was possible, just a reminder that text to 911 transfers are a possibility within your PSAP. Moving on, been providing updates on a couple of the more technical kind of network engineering stuff. The end of the month is still the target date for the data center move from West Des Moines to Raleigh, North Carolina. There's a lot of things going on with that this month. The CHE vendors, the call handling vendors are making good progress there, but there's just a lot of moving pieces. So we're still on target for the end of the month. But just know that that is going on in the background. There's a lot of steps to that, as I kind of indicated. So you may see some notifications that you're going to need to alt route, or will need to alt route your PSAP for a couple minutes in the middle of the night to make some of those transitions. So just know that that's going on. I'll try to make the disruptions as minimal as possible. The next item that we talked about again recently as last month is the NextGen 911 transition. And again, that's more focused on wireline carriers. Last month I showed where the new points of ingress will be for wireline carriers to deliver their IP traffic to enter the 911 network. Nothing's really changed with those locations. We are in the midst of sending out a memo to the Iowa-based carriers to let them know where those points of ingress will be, and basically letting them know in about 3 months, we'll be indicating our readiness, and then they will have 12 months to deliver their traffic to those points. So really kind of just giving them a heads up of where the locations are and the timing of that NG 911 transition that we expect. All right, GIS grant information. All counties continue to meet the benchmarks. As a reminder, the Q4 checks will go out early July once we receive the QA/QC checks for June. Looking for next year's GIS grant information, really one small change is some additional criteria that go into the critical air check. So we indicated this last year already. We are going to go ahead and move those kind of preparatory checks into actual checks that GEOCOM conducts when you submit your GIS data. So those will be now part of the critical air checks that they do. And then one reminder, you should have seen this previously when we sent out the GIS grant results for the month of May. GEOCOM is holding a webinar on June 18th at 1 o'clock to go over some of the work that they've been doing specific to DPS and for the routing and snap points that they've been working on, as well as kind of going over any questions that you might have on the GIS grants for 2027. There are 2 public education and training fund requests for this month, and actually these are for the next fiscal year. So really just getting ahead of the start of the fiscal year, which is July 1. So Jasper County has a request for the NENA CTO course, and then we will need to make a decision on the continuation of the online learning management portal. As we've done previously, there are kind of 2 options, 6-month renewal and a 12-month renewal. And you can see if we make the decision to do a 12-month renewal, there are some cost savings that are realized there. Any questions for me before I turn it over to Lynn with CTRON?
Thanks, Blake.
If not, Lynn, if you're there, you can go ahead and do your update.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Next slide, please. Woodbury County has signed up with Shared Services. We'll be doing their deployment later this year. Just wanted to leverage off what Blake had said about the text transfers. We are, for Shared Services PSAPs, as we do your hardware refresh, we are automatically setting up all the text transfers so that you'll be able to do them with a 1 button. If you want more information about how to do text transfers and you're on Shared Services, please send a request into Raycom Net Control, and we can either explain to you how to do it manually, or we can get it set up so that you can have 1 button transfers to everybody that you have star codes. Next slide, please. So this is what the map looks like right now. So we are working on Woodbury, Benton, and Monroe deployments. Next slide. Just a reminder that the online training portal is available to everybody in the state, not just Shared Services. They have some new courses for June and July there that I have listed. If you have any questions or want to get signed up, please email Christy Wade, and just got the updated stats there. And I think that's it for me. Next slide. Yep. Thank you.
All right. Any questions for myself or for Lynn? Not, I will turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you both for the updates. I don't know what the next agenda
I'm
item is.
sorry, I'm getting it.
I know. Okay, as Blake had mentioned, item 6 here is a request for training funds. The first one is from Jasper County for the NINA CTO. Is Paul or anyone here from Jasper County that would like to speak on it?
Paul Singer. We'd like to host a CTO training class. I had 2 dispatchers, training officers go to the class last fall. I have 2 more slots that I'd like to send to the class, but there's nothing around here locally, so we'd like to host one, and we'll have plenty of room for other agencies to send people that are interested.
Thank you. Blake, did you tell me the balance of the training fund?
So this will be for the next fiscal year. So we're starting at $100,000.
Okay, very good. If there's any questions or otherwise, I would entertain a motion to consider the Jasper County request.
Collins is going to abstain.
Collins is abstaining.
Lynn is going to abstain as well.
That's going to abstain.
I will make a motion.
I will second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The second training fund request is for the online learning management system, either a 12-month or 6-month subscription. It appears the 12-month has about a $1,500 discount for a longer term. I'd entertain a motion to approve either option.
This is Bryant. I'll make a motion to go with a 12-month option to save the $1,500. Appears to me that the numbers have justified themselves, that people are taking the course.
Thanks, Mike. Is there a second?
Lynn will second.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second to continue funding the learning management system, the online LMS, for the next 12 months for the amount of $37,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 is report of officers, boards, and standing committees. First item is technical advisory. Any comments from a technical perspective from anyone? Hearing none. An update from the Essex board. Haley Nichols.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Just a few things for the next slide presentation that I've been giving monthly. We're talking about GETS and WPS, Government Emergency Telephone Services and Wireless Priority Services. I present those in the RIC meetings or the supervisor group meetings, or can send them out as well. We had an after action for the Loess Hills Cooperative Burn. Looks like we'll probably continue that collaboration and work again with them next year. That was a really great opportunity. We're meeting the SCIP goals and providing professional level training for those with some experience. So if anybody's interested, keep that in mind and put it on your calendar. Still waiting to scope the TA request for the INTD. Dates have not been determined, but Carroll County has offered to host that course. Maybe we'll see that come up in the fall. And then just for out-of-state events, the Central States COMEX will be hosted in Hot Springs, Arkansas this year. That they had to move the venue. Registration should be opening soon. Our state was represented there 2 years ago when they had it. It's an every other year event. And it was a really great opportunity and experience. If there's any way you can get there, I highly recommend it. That's my report today. If anybody has any questions, I can take them.
Thanks, Haley. Item 7C is an update from Homeland Security CISA Emergency Communications Division, Chris Myers. Is he available?
I am. Thank you and good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to be back. So this will be the report for the month of June. A little bit tech heavy to start. We're going to talk about programmable logic controllers. These are things that you can put in your systems to do all sorts of things, whether it's data monitoring, remote testing. Basically, it's if you want it to do something, you can have a PLC help you do it remotely. This is an issue with these having internet access because sometimes they become targets for threat actors. And in this case, Iran affiliated threat actors are targeting PLCs now. Now, you may ask, why is this important? Well, given where these can be put, which is almost anywhere, and the fact that they have access to live data, they can give system commands, those things can be manipulated and they can cause disruptions, losses, downtime, you name it. What you can do to mitigate actions from this Iranian affiliated threat is to make sure that you limit or cut internet connections for PLCs that either don't need internet access or they only need some. Make sure you're updating all the firmware and software on those PLCs because sometimes those often get forgotten about. Then, of course, making sure you use other cybersecurity best practices for logging into your PLCs, whether it's multi-factor authentication, blocking unnecessary ports in coordination with your IT department. There's a whole list of things you can do that are covered in this cybersecurity advisory. You also want to make sure that you can limit the modifications that those things can make. As an example, some of them have physical switches that basically once you flip them a certain way, those are limited as to what they can control and access remotely. Make sure that those physical modification switches are set appropriately. Then also, of course, as always, understand what normal traffic looks like on your network. One of the fastest ways to see if something is abnormal is to look at those logs. And logs are often not fun to look at, but they will give you clues as to who is trying to get into your system once they get access, what they're doing, and then you can kind of tell if they're supposed to be there. The cybersecurity advisory is linked to the bottom of our website, and given that this does tie back to a state-sponsored actor, it's probably something that many of us will gain a lot of good traction and mileage out of. And again, it is geared primarily towards your IT folks, but you should be able to ask your system providers as well and say, hey, where do we have these programmable logic controllers on our systems? And if we have them, are they secure at this point? Next thing is probably in a lot of our communication systems as well that use backup power generation. We're going to talk a little bit about automatic tank gauge systems. So for those of us that have generators and they have propane on-prem, you may have a remote monitoring capability of that tank. We now have malicious cyber actors that are targeting those US-based automatic tank gauge systems. What this means for those of us that have those things is that your ability to remotely monitor these tanks may not be as robust as it could otherwise been because these threat actors have demonstrated the ability to alter the data readouts and even disable system alerts. So let's say you have a generator on-prem, you use that remote monitoring to figure out when you have to refill your tanks. It could be one of those things where they sever that data or tell you that the tank is always 80% full. So this is something where you do need to kind of be mindful of that, especially since it's storm season in Iowa. We do have power outages and this would affect those tanks. You can mitigate this by limiting or eliminating internet exposure for these things. But then again, that takes away the convenience of being able to monitor your tanks remotely. In the meantime, you can apply patches to access to those tank monitors and make sure that you're enforcing strict credential security. Make sure you're not sharing passwords or usernames. Make sure that you know who has access to those things remotely. And then, of course, monitor all login attempts. Your service providers may be able to provide some additional insights as well, but this is another one of those things where these get put onto systems. They often get forgotten about until they become an issue. So this is available on our website as well. It does cover all sorts of tank monitors as well, so you may find some utility for your other partners as well, and some of your commercial contracted providers on top of all that. Next slide, 911 specific. A new document has been released by SAFECOM and NICSWIC. This is an update to some other documents that talk about swatting and fraudulent calls. This is geared towards your administrative personnel that have decision-making authority within your agencies to look at some new technologies such as stir, shake, and protocols for making sure that calls that are coming into your PSAP through voice over IP networks are legitimate. There's also some potential now through some voice biometric integration into some calls as well to make sure that it is not a recorded message that has popped up elsewhere. And then other types of caller authentication tools that can really help figure out right away if a call is legitimate or not. The document also includes best practices to train providers and public safety telecommunicators, and also some tips on staying informed on current guidance for call authentication and swatting prevention. This is linked on our website. This is a pretty short read, but it is a very good read. So you can download that at your leisure. And of course, if you don't have access to this, just let me know and I'll get you a copy of it. Lastly, news of note throughout the region, FIFA World Cup has begun. We have been pushing out some documents with partner agencies. I would suspect that not all the documents that are being pushed out with respect to foreign handsets, dialing of emergency numbers on US-based networks has reached everybody yet. So if you have any concerns or needs with that, just reach out to Haley and me, and we'll get you that documentation along with Blake. And then, of course, other technical assistance news. We are working on some deliveries for various states that I cover. You heard Haley talk about the Central States ComEx before. Again, that has been moved to Hot Springs, Arkansas. And then, of course, we have a lot of other projects ongoing with states. We are still working on your courses at this point. That is all I have. I can go ahead and take any questions.
Thanks, Chris. Very good information. Blake.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Suppose I could open it myself.
I'm about back. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Item 7D, legislative issues. Anyone have anything about the legislature? Nothing? All right. How about information sharing by council members? Hearing nothing. Do we have any unfinished business for the council? Any new business for the council? Any travel requests? Any business from the floor in the room there? Any business from any participants online? All right. Item 12, just a reminder that our meetings are held the second Thursday of every month in conjunction with the Essex board meetings. Our next board meeting will be July 9th at 9:30 a.m. If there's no further business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Collins, a motion.
Is there a second?
Lynn will second.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. We'll be adjourned. Thank you all for participating today.